Hello everyone, Zellerant here, and today I was just going to take a quick look at the shop in Girls Frontline 2 and kind of go over what I would consider the best value of the people who are willing to spend on this game. They actually have quite a few decent options in there, and while they do follow the Hoyoverse kind of format with a lot of their polls and all that, as well as a lot of the items in the shop, they actually have things that I would say that are better than most of what I've seen in Hoyoverse games, which actually makes it quite nice. So we have the skins. Now, skins are going to be subjective to what everybody wants. I mean, they have the ones that are limited, so they're going to be the more pricey ones. So those are just, I mean, if you like the skin, you can buy it. I mean, that's what it is with those. And you can kind of look at all of them there. Now, when it comes to a lot of the packs, one nice thing is they do have things that can just be straight bought for cash. You don't have to do a currency conversion for them. And a lot of these are pretty good. And so then you have the other ones that use the premium currency, which you can get down here under redemption. So this is the premium currency they can use to be converted for like polls and other little things. And so whenever I look at shops and gacha games, the big thing I like to do is convert the value of the dollar to the currency. And I did it earlier on stream when I was streaming yesterday. And with the top up, it comes to about $1.15 per poll. So when I'm converting these to polls, I'm looking, is the package, other packages in the shop, is it better than $1.15? Now, if you buy all these top ups here, then you can convert the $100 one to being $2.30 a poll. And unless you're whaling, I would never want to go that high on the cost per poll. So I always want to go based off the $100 top up to kind of see if you're getting a fair deal comparatively to this. I mean, it's a gacha game, so whatever you consider fair is what is up to you. But so that's how I'm going to compare all the other shop items. And so when we go into the quality, selection here. Now I've already bought some of this stuff, so it shows sold out. So I can't remember the pricing off these exactly, but these are the beginner packages that they put in here. Basically, they're the ones that entice people to spend because these are the best value in the game, and they are significantly above in terms of the value compared to the redemption tokens. So the elite weapon gift box, I would probably consider one of the best items in here. This one comes with 60 poles, and I believe this one's $60. So you're getting the 60 poles for $4, so you're 15 cents cheaper per pole. But the big thing is you have that, plus you get a selector on one of the SSR weapons, the standard weapons. And so if you re-rolled like I did, like I got QJ when I re-rolled, I got this, and then I was immediately able to get her standard weapon, the Gold Melody. And so basically I got all my pulls I wanted plus that elite weapon. And that's something we don't really see in Hoyoverse games where you have selectors where you can just straight up pay for it. Now there is no selector available to buy one of the SSR units like you see in some gachas, but at least you can get the weapon. So that one's good there. You have this one over here, which is kind of the same thing, except this one was for 40 pulls. It was $40 for 40 pulls. And then it comes with a selector for a purple weapon or one of the SR weapons. And so this is good for getting in the start of the game because after you do all your pulls, you have your units and you have your purple weapons. You may be like in a situation that I'm in where currently my Suomi does not have a purple weapon. I was having to use her blue weapon, and so I can just use that selector to get her an SR. And so that one's a good one. And then that one if you buy both of these, you're going to have 100 pulls. So that's always nice. After that, just another one. I can't remember the price of this one, but I do know, I believe it might have been $10. So 10 for 10 there. Or yeah, this was I believe $10 or $15, but you get 20 pulls, 10 to the standard and 10 to the limited. So that one was pretty good. And then this one is this one was a really cheap one if I remember, but it gave you one of them plus a selection of one of the SR units. So this one gets you one of the SR. So if when you do your polls after you're re-rolling, maybe you didn't get one of the SRs, this is a quick and easy way to get one of them with the selector plus a target poll. And this one was like, I can't remember, it was like $2, $3, $4, $5. And so that one was all right. These other ones I haven't touched yet, but this one right here, I didn't realize it at the time, but this one is a must buy if you're going to be getting the monthly pack. And so this one's $3. This one gives you, it's kind of hard to read here, but it gives you, you receive 180 tokens for this, but then it also gives you a 20% discount when purchasing the monthly crystal contract, valid for 60 days. So you buy this, and then you can go to the monthly, the $5 one here. It basically gives you 20% discount on this, plus those credits from it. And so you're basically getting the money back on this. So not completely getting it back, but it does reduce it by 20%. Plus you get tokens anyway on it. So you're getting the equivalent of the pulls. So that one is, if you're going to get the monthly, this is a no-brainer to get. And then you have this one. This one, it's 99 cents. This is that standard, really cheap one to get you to spend, but there's no pulls in this one. It does give you the credits. This is kind of like a mini gotcha. You spend $1 for the chance to get really good value at the 200, or you have a low chance to get bad value. So you actually have decent chance to get good value on this, but this one is kind of a gotcha of a gotcha. And then you get a little bit of, these are used for the energy in the game, and these give 60 energy each. And so that's 120. So this is just good for the start to get that extra energy. So that one's a nice one to buy. You'll get a little bit of tokens there. I plan to buy both of these. I just haven't bought them yet. And so after that, we'll kind of take a look at the time limited packages. Now, these are going to be like your monthlies. And depending on how much you're willing to spend will depend on if you're wanting to buy these or not. The first one I want to look at here is the $50 one. You can get 2 of these. These come with 42 pulls, and it's $50 plus a bunch of extra stuff here. So this one, I always like to look at the pulls. I like to disregard stuff that you can farm. So the stuff over here to the right, I'm not too concerned about. Now, these are pretty nice because this is energy so that you can actually progress in the game. So right now, this is like the best deal just because you can get the energy alongside the pulls. But when you do the math on this one, it comes out to, if I remember correctly, it was about $1.18 per pull, if I remember. I can't remember it off the top, but it's like $1.18, $1.20 per pull. So it's slightly more expensive than buying the pulls out of here. But the big thing is, if you're going to be a regular monthly spender on this game, these are better to go for. And the difference is, these are a one-time deal on the double. And then, unless this game does like somewhere on the anniversary, they'll reset it and you can do the one time again. Once you do this, it goes down to $64.80. And now you pretty much have to, and if you've already bought the monthlies, and then say a character came out that you really, really want, and you've already bought all the top-ups cleared out, and you've already bought the monthlies, and you already bought the monthlies here, then you're kind of having to go to the most expensive option, which is buying these not topped up. And so I like to just buy the monthlies because they're slightly more expensive, and they come with a bunch of other goodies. So these aren't like bad. These are going to help you progress in your account. And then if that item comes up that I really, really want, and now I'm going to spend like $200 to get it, then I can go here and dump and buy all these in that situation. But then again, that's coming from someone that is willing to spend a decent chunk of change monthly on the game at the current point. As time goes on, I tend to spend less on these games, but that's when you're starting to get into the medium spender. So you don't really need to touch these if you're going to be a light spender, because all these, like the $25.99 one, it's $20. So this one's, I think, like $1.25 per pull or something like that. And so you're starting to get into they're less value here. These are more if you're just going to be a monthly spender. They're a good value for a monthly spender. If you're just someone wanting to get something quick, early start, I wouldn't worry about these ones as much. The beginners are way better on that case, and the beginners, these couple ones here, you're already getting to $100. So if you only want to spend $100, the beginners cover you right there. The next one that has, I believe this one's going to be another monthly type one. This one has the value of $1 per pull, so $5 for 5 pulls, plus some energy, $10 for 10 pulls, plus a couple bonus pulls with these, and that's 3. So you're getting a bonus 3, so that one's a good value there. And then $15 for 15 pulls, so $1 per pull, plus some affinity stuff. So this one's another good one if you're willing to go a little bit over those beginner packages. And then after that, we have the standard packages here, and this is where I would say where you're going to start buying these is when you start getting more into the whale territory. And this is because these ones are below value compared to these redemption ones on if you've bought all the top-ups. So they're below value of the top-ups, but they're above value if you don't have the top-ups. So if you've bought everything in here, and you've bought all the timed packages that have pulls, and you've bought the staged package, and you bought all the beginner packages, then you come here, and these ones are better value than the non-topped up, because the non-topped up are going to be about $2.30 a pull. So you have this one, which gives you 10 standard pulls for $15. So this one is going to be better than the non-topped up, but it's not better than it when it's topped up. And same thing with this one, $15 for 10 pulls of the limited ones. And so these ones are, I believe some of these are going to be monthly, some of these are going to be like daily. So this is, the standard packages are your whale stuff. Do not buy anything in here if you're not going to whale, because you have to buy pretty much everything else out in the shop before these get value at all. I think the closest thing, like this one is you're spending $1, but you're not even getting a full pull out of that $1 with this one. So this one's about the same as the top up. So these ones, I wouldn't touch the standard packages at all, because they just, you're gonna need to be a whale to really want to use these. And so after that, the next big thing is like the subscription. This one's always the no-brainer if you're gonna play this game long term. $5 a month. I mean, pretty much I'd tell anybody to get this if they're going to play these types of games. A lot of gotchas, these are kind of mandatory because it just gives you enough currency to get enough units throughout the time, or throughout the time you play it, because it's really hard to be completely free to play in these games if you're wanting to get a good chunk of units. So this is pretty much a no-brainer. First thing I would really spend on if you're willing to spend money in the game. And then this one, the trading post, this has just got your ones that you're using your premium currency you earn in game for. Same thing with this, and same with these. So these are just all in-game currencies. These are the grindable ones. Now, on the growth stack, you get these currencies here when you pull. And the one thing you want to make sure you get every month, and it's just like most gotchas because they're following the Holyverse practice. Pretty much every month you're going to want to get the 5 pulls from the targeted access and the standard. I mean, that's just standard. You should be pulling enough that you're always going to have enough of this currency to get the pulls. So I always get the pulls here. I generally don't buy anything else in this shop until a few months in, when I have stockpiled a ton of this currency that I know I'll be able to get these the following month. Then I might buy whatever I'm missing from this currency here. Now, there is one thing that I noticed that appears to be missing because I can't find it in here, is we have this neural integration. So you have the pull currency you get from, I believe these are the currencies when you pull the SSRs and SRs in the polling. But so as you're pulling, you're going to accumulate this currency. But like in a Holyverse game, they usually have the standard SSR weapons, but then they also usually have pulls in there, and they don't have it here. So I'm kind of holding on to these for now to see if that's something that gets added in the future, because I haven't seen it. But in this case, if this is all you can get, then you just kind of, whatever standard units you get, you want to get their primary weapon at this point. You can save up for their weapon there. But that's just the in-game currencies. That's not spending money. That's all stuff that you've grinded out. And I believe that's pretty much everything in terms of the shop. I mean, the outfits are, it's just you buy. I mean, if you're willing to spend for the shops, you buy them. Now, these, what are nice is you can either buy it for the premium currency. And if you buy it for the premium currency, I believe you're going to be getting a discount. Because you're getting, like, if you buy that $100 deal here, you're going to get just under 13,000 for $100. And so if you kind of convert this 13,000, so that's about 9. So you can buy this 9 times. So $180 worth of value versus just spending the $20 outright. But then again, if you can just spend the cash outright, you don't have to worry about going in here and spending $100 to get that maximum value. It just depends on how much you're willing to spend in the game. I'm not a big skin person, so I'm not going to probably be buying any skins in this game because there are ones that you can get for free. So I'm not going to be worried too much about these unless there's something that like I have to have, which I don't really see happening because I'd rather just spend my money on more pulls so I can get more units. And then there is the battle pass. Now, if we go ahead and go to that, that is going to be here. Man, I always get lost in this. I'm still getting used to where everything's at. So you go to the battle pass here. This would be another big thing I'd say to get. It's got a decent amount of pulls in it. Now, I believe this one's $10 for the standard pass. If you want to get the little bit of extra goodies on the $11 one, there's really not value in terms of the pulls on this one because you're only getting 4 pulls, but it does have a unique frame that you'll get out of it and some more energy. And it immediately levels it by 10, but it's generally not worth it on the battle pass for that one. Just buying the $10 portion's better versus this one I think is $20. And then you can do that. The big thing that the battle pass has is you're going to get a lot of stuff that's going to help out when we start getting towards the end game, because a lot of these currencies that are like leveling up your characters or units and leveling up your weapons, eventually you're going to start to run into issues where you're going to start running out of these and you're not going to be able to level up weapons, and then you're going to have to start farming the supply missions and using your energy on supply missions to get the currency to keep leveling up your stuff. While this will give you a little bit of extra boost because you have a whole nother row of getting them that's going to help you get through that without having to farm the supply missions as much. But the biggest thing in here is going to be the SR or the SSR weapon that you can get in here. And so, like in my case, I have the SSR for QJ, but then again, I don't have one for now like Tololo. I don't have an SSR for Suomi. Instead, they're just using purple weapons. So I can go in here and I can get like, for what I plan to get out of this one initially is I'm going to get the SMG for Suomi because it's her second best in slot, and I'm not going to be buying her signature weapon. I only really care about getting signature weapons for DPS. She's going to be more of my healer, so I'll just be getting this one. And so this is a good option for just getting another SSR to help out your team. They're kind of like a they're more like an SR and a half, because they're not a full SSR. They're not going to ever be as good as like the standard SSRs or the limited ones, but it is definitely going to be better than your SR weapons there. So definitely a good value on this one, and it just kind of gives you something to work towards, and it has a lot of that currency in there for you. And then from here, there is one more thing that I have found that you can spend money on in this game, because I do have quite a few little things in here. So in the events under the rookie one, so this is kind of like the starting events for the starting of the game. Under the travel, adventure, and treasure troves, there's the journeys log one. They have a extra side here. And so this one, they want that premium currency, so that 1280. And so the 1280, if you're just wanting to unlock that one, let's go back to the shop here. You could buy one of the cheaper top-ups here to get that 1280. So you can just say it's $15 because you'll buy this one. So for $15, if you go to the event here, for $15, you unlock this side. The expectation, you should expect to be able to complete this thing. So you'll get, so there's 20 levels of this. So that's 20 pulls plus there's a 3, so that's 22. 24, 26, and then 28. Those 30 total pulls in this whole thing. And so you're basically getting this will basically get you a pull over 50 cents a piece. And so this is another little good beating the deal on it. So if you want to get the pulls from here, you have to buy the premium currency for this. So, it takes you right to it if you click that. So you have to buy the $15 at least to get it. So it's another little thing you can get there to unlock 30 pulls. So that one's not too bad of a deal. And you'll be able to complete this. I mean, this is just playing the game and completing the missions. And then you'll slowly move up the path here. But yeah, that pretty much covers everything in the shop. And that I could find that you can spend money on. Put it in the comments if I'm missing something, because I'm still learning how to navigate everything in this, but I think I've hit everything and done everything at this point. And so They have a lot more options than I'd say a Hoyoverse game, so they are basically following their pricing path. I think everything is exactly the same, but they do have more of those value options so that you don't have to spend as much. Now, a whale will have to because they're going to run out of stuff just like they will in any game as a whale. But these time-limited ones that have the polls in here, these are something that you don't really see in Hoyoverse games. So it's slightly better than a Hoyoverse, but it is the typical Hoyoverse pricing. But overall, not too bad. It's your typical gacha game shop with a couple things in there that, if you're willing to spend, have some value to it. But yeah, that pretty much covers everything. If you like my content, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.